Don Paul for a check of the weather. Don.
Why not? I wasn't doing anything else. Well, I have some good news that the last flash flood warning for Wyoming and Allegheny counties has been canceled. So the worst is over, but I'm sure there are some deep urban flooded areas in some of the smaller towns and villages in parts of Chautauqua, Cattaraugus, Allegheny, and Wyoming counties where up to 4 inches of rain fell during these absolutely torrential downpours, which have now moved into central New York State. And we have some lighter rain still around, but it is trailing off from west to east. Not that it's bone dry up here on the Niagara frontier, but that very light shade of green, hardly anything coming down, and all the really heavy stuff has now moved off into Steuben County. And as far as lightning goes, that's another sign that everything has pushed to the east. We have that cold front that has gone through, and it's not cold, but it is, as I shouted at you last night, cooler. And tonight will be a much better night for sleeping weather concerns than we've had around here. The trailing edge of even the light rain is now moving rapidly to the east, and there really isn't much left to it. So the concert in Chestnut Ridge Park, as I said earlier, wet grass, but I don't think nature will be adding to the wetness. When this clearing gets here in the pre-dawn hours, the temperatures will drop and meet up with the dew point temperature, and some locally dense fog could be forming in the pre-dawn hours. Meantime, it's certainly still humid out there, and we do have a high dew point across the region, and not much wind to help out, but note the wind orientation. Northerly. We haven't had that in a while. No wind at all at Dunkirk, light winds, and the winds are going to stay fairly light throughout the weekend. High temperatures today before the onset of the rain. Buffalo did make it to 81 degrees out ahead of the cool front. Behind the cool front, Toronto and Hamilton never got out of the 70s, and then the heat was still on in central New York State. As you can see, it reached 90 in Syracuse and 92 at Hot Dansville Airport. If you ever drive down the 390, there's a broad valley, and that airport is there, and you can just see it baking in the sun when you head south on the 390 or north. Either way. 69, the dew point, so it's still sticky. It's just not so warm. That humidity will stay high overnight, but begin to drop off during the morning tomorrow after the fog, which forms, thins. And temperatures are quite comfortable to the west until you get out to Chicago. There is some heat rebuilding, and we are not heading into a real cool spell. We're just ditching the extreme heat. Still pretty warm on the East Coast as well, 88 degrees at Philadelphia. Now let's check out conditions for tonight. The light rain that I showed you is ending from west to east. The heavy downpours have now moved east of the Genesee Valley, so we're pretty much done with those. And by late this evening, still humid, getting cooler. Some fog will form if you're going to be out way late, especially in rural areas, and then a good amount of sunshine moves in for tomorrow with high pressure settling in. Wind speeds will be light enough so that wave heights both days this weekend will be averaging a foot or less. Here's your WeatherWatch forecast. The light rain we've had here on the Niagara frontier is in the process of ending. The downpours we had in Allegheny, McKean, and Potter counties are out of there. All the flash flood warnings have now expired or been canceled. Cooler overnight, 59 in the valleys to 63 at the lakeshore. And again, that fog is going to become locally dense in some spots. The early day fog will thin, then we become mostly sunny and more comfortable. Moderate humidity, 78 to 81, northwest winds at only 8 to 14. Tomorrow night, clear and pleasant, some valley fog, 50 in the valleys to 63 at the lakeshore. Seasonably warm, that means temperatures a little above average on Sunday, a little toasty at a taste of Buffalo, but not oppressive. Waves again a foot or less, light winds. Then we're back to the mid and upper 80s on Monday. Some showers and storms for portions of Tuesday, ending on Wednesday morning. But Leah, note those temperatures next week. That's still summer. I mean, that's mid and upper 80s. Yeah.
It's just not too hot.
Right.
And you don't have to get mad about the cooler.
That's right. I'm done with that.
Yeah, you're over.